So we are now finally halfway through the year, and I thought I would update you guys on how I am doing with my reading goals so far. At the beginning of this year, I decided to set 50 books as my reading goal for 2016. In 2015, I had a really good reading year and I had set myself a goal of like 75 books, which I unfortunately didn't attain, but I did read more than 50. So I thought that 50 would be a good number for 2016. Unfortunately, I am not anywhere close to having read 25 books, which is where I should be right now. I went through a huge reading slump at the beginning of the year, along with moving and starting a new job. So there was a lot of different things that kind of was affecting my life and I wasn't able to read as much. So I have only read 15 books up until now, which actually I'm fairly happy with because these are fairly chunky books. So since I have read 15 books, I thought that is definitely, I think it should be attainable for me to read another 15 books for the remainder of the year. So I'm going to go ahead and decrease my reading goal from 50 to 30. At first I was a little discouraged about this. I was really hoping that 50 was an attainable goal for me. But as long as I'm reading and I'm having fun, I'm enjoying it, and I love what I'm reading, then that's really all that matters. Although it is fun to set goals, the next goal that I had in 2016 was that I really wanted to hit series pretty hard this year. I wanted to try and finish all of the series that I own and try and finish all of my unread series. And that's what I ended up making my TBR jar. I decided to put 12 different series. Each month I would pick a series, and that would be the series that I would try and focus on that month. Well, that lasted about 1 month, to be quite honest, and I think what attributed to my massive reading slump at the beginning of the year is the fact that I was trying to force myself into reading things that I wasn't really interested in. So I finally put my TBR jar away, and this is actually the second year that I have done that. So I think I came around to a good idea in order to keep my TBR jar incorporated into my reading goals as a fun activity, but without forcing myself to read something that I'm not really interested in reading. And I was actually looking back on the series that I put in my TBR jar. I have completed 2 out of the 12, and that is the Throne of Glass series by Sarah J Maas. I'm almost complete with it, and then Saga. And I'm not actually complete with either of them. I'm just pretty much almost caught up because both of those series aren't done yet. So what I decided that I'm gonna do is I am going to pick 15 books that are going to be my main TBR focus for the remainder of 2016. I will write them down on a sheet of paper and put them in this jar. Now, instead of choosing a book to read that month, I've decided that every time I finish one of my TBR jar books, I'm going to remove that book from my jar. That way it'll be a little more encouraging because I will be seeing the sheets of papers in here disappear faster, and it'll be a lot more fun to, you know, wrap up at the end of the month and say, okay, well, I was able to finish 2 books out of my TBR jar, and I also finished, you know, such and such books that wasn't in my TBR jar. I think that will work better for me because I'm not going to be forcing myself to read a book. It's going to be more like crossing off a book on my list without forcing myself to read it. So I think it's going to work a lot better, and I'm really excited to try this new method. I also think I'm gonna create a video kind of dedicating to what books I'm going to be putting in my TBR jar and kind of do a quick mid-year wrap-up as well with all the books that I've read and then all the books that I want to read. Another goal that I wanted to work on this year is read more graphic novels. I've read one, which is Saga Volume 5. So I have read a graphic novel, but I mean, one I wouldn't really say counts. So I need to focus a little bit more on that for the year, but I mean, I've got so many TBR books that I really want to focus on right now that graphic novels really aren't really top priority on my list of goals anymore, and I'm not too disappointed with that. Lastly, I wanted to put more effort into my YouTube channel. One of my biggest things is that I wanted to upload at least 2 videos a week, and honestly, I've done pretty good actually. There were a couple months where I kind of slowed down and I only posted maybe once a week, but for the most part I've posted close to 2 a week. So that is fantastic, and I'm glad that I have attained that goal, because that was probably my biggest goal that I really wanted to focus on, and I'm glad that so far I am succeeding with that. So I'm 1 for 4. Alright everyone, well that is it for this 2016 reading goals update. Let me know down below the goals that you had set for yourself in 2016 and whether you are achieving them or you're having to kind of modify some of your goals. There's nothing wrong with that. Obviously I've had to modify pretty much 3 out of my 4 reading goals, but hey, that's okay. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and subscribe to my channel if you want to see more videos. I hope you have a great evening, and I will see you next time. Bye!